Time now for the morning rush. A motive is now at the center of an investigation into a man who police say may have detonated a homemade explosive device. This was outside of an Albuquerque strip mall, killing him. Now, police say just before 1 yesterday afternoon, a large explosion went off behind the shopping center near Coors and Central. The FBI and ATF are working to find out what the explosive device was made from. The area is now clear. Kristen?
Spotty showers continue today, mainly up in the mountains. So I'm looking at the Sangre Cristos, the San Juans and Hemis, and even a little bit of the Sacramentos, picking up some spot showers. A lot of cloud cover over the state. Cold front moves in tonight. Do expect more rain and snow to fill in overnight and into Wednesday morning. That will continue through the day tomorrow. David?
Now to a live look over Washington, D.C. this morning, where President Trump is set to give his State of the Union address. Officials say the speech will call for unity. Now, the president and Democrats have remained at odds over the $5.7 billion that he wants in border wall funding. Lawmakers have until February 15th, just 10 days, to strike a deal to avert another shutdown. Right now, federal prosecutors are preparing to look through documents from the Trump inaugural committee. This after issuing a subpoena. They are seeking documents, especially financial records, connected to donors and what benefits they may have received in exchange for their donations. A record of $107 million was raised for the 2017 inauguration. Congresswoman Xochitl Torres-Small is calling for bipartisanship and cooperation during this year's legislative session here in the state. Now, Torres-Small addressed the legislature yesterday. According to the Albuquerque Journal, she urged state lawmakers to support roadway and infrastructure improvements in southeastern New Mexico. A group calling for action on gun control is set to be at the Roundhouse, pressing lawmakers today. One of the bills they will likely focus on is House Bill 8, which would make it illegal to sell or buy a gun without a background check. Another bill takes away a gun if a person is charged with domestic violence. Republican committee members believe these bills violate the Second Amendment. A bill that would keep people from smoking e-cigarettes where cigarettes are banned has to pass a few more committees before a full Senate vote. The bill, sponsored by Democratic Senator Linda Lopez, would add e-cigs to the state's Clean Indoor Air Act and would make it illegal to use them at businesses open to the public. Hospitals will likely see more cases of flu this morning. In 2018 to 2019, there have been 78 flu and pneumonia-related deaths here in the state. And as you can see in a map, New Mexico is among several states reporting high levels of flu activity. Now, as those numbers continue to rise, many of you may be scheduling your flu shot. Now, one doctor at UNM Hospital says children and adolescents should be up to date on those shots, including the flu, chickenpox, mumps, and measles. But some may decide not to vaccinate. Now, state numbers show nearly half of the adults in New Mexico are deciding not to get a flu shot. City Council is scheduled to discuss a new West Side development later this month. City Councilor Ken Sanchez is proposing bringing 12 acres of county land under city jurisdiction. Now, this is north of I-40 near the new sports complex. Now, this would be part of a bigger project they are calling the Town Center. Early plans show a regional medical center, more housing, a hotel, and a grocery store. Well, you have until 7 p.m. tonight to get your ballot to the county clerk's office for the special mail-in election for APS. And just a reminder, you can bring the ballot in person to the county clerk's office yourself. Now, the district is asking for an increase in property taxes and approval of bonds to fund repairing schools. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index still at a 3, looking at some cool temperatures to start in the 40s. An isolated shower, mainly just going to be sprinkles, kind of like what we saw yesterday, possible out of those clouds on top. And breezy conditions at times, those winds 10 to 15 coming out of the west this afternoon. Stronger winds expected tomorrow. David?
Estancia High School's officials say there will be more administrators at basketball games because of all the out-of-hand fans. Now, on Friday, the New Mexico Activities Association sent a letter to Estancia High's athletic director saying if there are any more official reports of fans being threatening or abusive towards officials, they will no longer be allowed to attend the games. A person in Alamogordo is waking up this morning and they may have 90 days to claim their $1 million prize. A $1 million ticket was sold in the Alamogordo area. This is for the Powerball. Now, the ticket matched the 5 white Powerball numbers. Those are 10, 17, 18, 43, and 65. But they missed the Powerball of 13. And again, you have 90 days to claim that prize. Many are collecting their cash from Super Bowl bets. Football fans in 3 states legally bet almost $186 million on the Super Bowl this year. In Nevada alone, people wagered $145 million at the state's 200 sports books locations. And of course, you can still give a forever home to a dog in Roswell. We posted a link on how to do that. Now, Daisy was sent to Roswell's animal control shelter. This after her owner was sent to prison back in 2015. Now, she was supposed to be released back then, but a paperwork mistake kept her there for years. Now, she's currently with a foster mom, but does not have a permanent home. We have a link at alwayson.krqe.com on how to take care of that. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your morning commute. We do have traffic on Paseo westbound near 2nd Street down to about 25 miles per hour. So some volume there. Everything else looks good on the map and the Big Eye moving smoothly at this hour.
Going down in Super Bowl commercial history, Spaceport America. It's something that people are still talking about this morning. Here's why. It was featured in an ad reintroducing Toyota's Supra car. In it, the Spaceport's runway is a big pinball machine. Now, officials say while this is not their first commercial that they have done, it has certainly been the biggest. Money from commercials goes towards the operation of the spaceport.
We are taking you back 31 years ago on this day in 1988. We had a winter storm drop close to 16 inches of snow out near Roswell. So again, 31 years ago on this day, no snow in the forecast for the southeast this afternoon. Let's take it out to the 5 facts. We start with number 5. One shelter dog in Roswell is still looking for a forever home this morning, and you still have a chance to help out. Daisy was sent to Roswell's animal control shelter after her owner was sent to prison back in 2015. She was supposed to be released back then, but a paperwork mistake kept her there for years. She's currently with a foster mom. If you'd like to adopt a Daisy, head over to alwayson.krqe.com.
And number 4, a warning for parents of Estancia High School basketball players to be on their best behavior. This as the team prepares for their next game on Thursday. On Friday, the New Mexico Activities Association sent a letter to Estancia High's athletic director saying that if there are any more official reports of fans being threatening or abusive towards officials, they'll no longer be allowed to attend the games.
At number 3, a mostly cloudy sky through the day today, but temperatures still mild for this time of year in the upper 50s. We do have some spot mountain showers on the way today, but overnight into tomorrow, that's when that cold front moves in. So rain and snow expected for Wednesday. Very strong winds coming out of the west tomorrow as well. And cooler temperatures to come. We're down about 10 degrees tomorrow. Thursday, the coolest at 42.
And number 2, the flu is in full swing. So far this season, there have been 78 flu-related deaths here in the state. According to the state's Department of Health's report in 2017, nearly half of the adults in New Mexico are choosing to forego getting a flu shot. Now, the Department of Health says there are also a little more than 4,300 rather, children under the age of 19 with vaccine exemptions. Doctors also recommend for children and adolescents to get the chickenpox, mumps and measles, as well as polio and influenza vaccines. And at number 1 this morning, investigators will continue looking into a motive and the homemade explosive device which went off. This was outside of an Albuquerque strip mall. Now, police believe the man who detonated the device was killed. He has still not been identified this morning. Now, police say just before 1 yesterday afternoon, a large explosion went off behind the shopping center. This is near Coors and Central. APD's bomb squad, Albuquerque Fire Rescue, the FBI, and the ATF all responding to the scene. The shopping center was evacuated for a short while. Police say there was no reason to believe anyone else is involved, and there is no longer a threat in the area.